It's my pleasure to introduce Bryan Anthony. Bryan is a writer and a teacher. He likes to say writer first and plans to continue saying it that way. Taking words and attempting to place them next to other words has always pleased him. He thanks the CCA community for their thoughtful suggestions on his own word placement and for the inspirational and highly informative word placement displayed in their own work.
Good evening. First, I'd like to say a big thank you to all the teachers and students at CCA. Their dedication to the written word is on full display every day here, and it's truly inspiring. I really feel honored to have been surrounded by it for the last 2 years. I'd especially like to thank my thesis committee, Kevin Killian, Dodie Bellamy, and Matt Earbarn. And I'd also like to thank my boyfriend, Ken, for putting up with me. Tonight I'll be reading 2 small excerpts from my YA novel. In the first one, the protagonist, Justin, who is 16, openly gay, and the star quarterback of his San Francisco high school, has just been told by his parents that they all will be moving to Foxhurst, Illinois, before the start of the next school year. The man standing across from him barely resembled his father. For one, he was no longer slouching. He was standing tall, chin in the air, proud. The old man was finally having his moment in the sun, and it was causing a total eclipse over Justin's life. Changing his father's mind would not be easy. But what about his mother? She grew up in the city, been a yoga instructor here for over 20 years. Did she really want to leave? Mom, this is insane. Can you honestly tell me you're okay with this? His mother stood there silent, contemplating her answer. She always did this no matter the question. You could ask her the simplest thing like, do you want a glass of water? And she would still take 15 seconds to answer. He usually liked this about her. It guaranteed that he never received an automatic no. But right now, her hesitation was killing him. He wanted her to agree with him at once. They could take a stand together now, as a team, and tell his father to shove it. This is an amazing opportunity, Justin, and it's very important to your father. He couldn't believe his ears. Important to your father? What a load of crap. Do you hear yourself, Mom? You sound like a housewife from the 1950s. I thought you were some sort of feminist. What is this stand by your man bullshit? Don't talk to your mother like that, his father scolded in a severe tone he hadn't used with Justin since he was a little boy. His mother glared at his father. Stephen, calm down. She turned back to Justin. I understand your anger. This wasn't an easy decision, but it's for the best. You have to trust us on this. We would never do anything to hurt you. Justin felt like he was in the middle of a dream. He wondered if he was actually awake. Maybe he hadn't woken up from the Taylor dream after all, and this was just an extended version. He immediately jumped into quarterback mode and went through his reads. Both his father and mother were covered. It was time for a third option. Maybe his parents were moving, but why did he have to? Fine, you guys go. I'll live with Randy. Who's Randy? His mother asked. My boyfriend, Mom. I thought you were dating Taylor. Wow, Mom, that's been over for like 3 weeks. It's kind of hard to keep up, and while I'm sure Randy is wonderful, you are not living at his house. Fine, then I'll live with Leslie. She has plenty of room. He was beginning to panic. He was out of options. If this were a football game, he'd just take off and run with the ball. But where was he supposed to run to now? We're a family, and we're going to live together as a family, said his father in that soft but firm manner that meant discussion over. His mother walked over and placed a hand on his shoulder and another on his father's. Together they formed an ill-shaped triangle. He couldn't remember the last time all 3 of them stood so close to each other. He didn't like it. It felt like they were at a funeral. It felt like they were at his funeral. Okay, now I'm going to jump to a different part where Justin's discussing the move with his best friend Leslie. Citizens Cafe was Leslie's favorite coffee house. It was full of socially conscious youth like herself who refused on principle to patron Starbucks. A few dimly lit lamps illuminated the cafe, and small mismatched wood tables were scattered throughout. The cement floors were covered from end to end in tattered oriental rugs. Bob Dylan songs played on an almost constant loop over the speakers. The yellowed white walls were covered in posters with sayings like "Comrades Unite" and "Down with the Tyranny of Capitalism." Justin found it ironic that a place promoting such socialist values charged almost $4 for a cup of coffee. but they served a good hot chocolate and the internet was free. The small table in the back opened up and he grabbed it. He settled in and attempted to clear his head. Maybe there was still some way out of this mess. It was all happening so fast. Maybe he was just being a drama queen and Foxhurst wouldn't be that different from San Francisco. Or maybe Leslie wouldn't mind moving with him to Illinois for the next 2 years. True to form, it was less than 10 minutes before Leslie and her massive red curls made their way through the front door. He wondered if she had the ability to turn red lights green with her mind. She was definitely an empath. She walked into a room and immediately sensed any emotional disturbances. He imagined her radar was off the charts as she took a seat across from him. Okay, sweetie, what's the situation? Are you in trouble with the law or something? Because you know my father has connections. She said this while pulling a pair of Jackie O sunglasses from her purse and using them as a band to keep her hair from falling into her face. It was her serious look. What are you talking about? You said your parents are making you move to Illinois. You must be in trouble. No, Leslie, I wish it were that simple. My dad got a promotion, so my whole family is moving. His faith in her ability to fix his situation was slipping. I see, that makes more sense. Well, you can always live with me. Her face lit up. It was a serious offer, and he'd love to live with her. Her house was beautiful. It even had guest quarters above the garage that would make for a dream bachelor pad. I already asked, and they're not going for it. They seem pretty set on the staying together as a family thing. I wish my parents were more like yours. He immediately felt guilty about saying this. Leslie lowered her gaze and played with the curl of her hair. Her father was a bigwig attorney who barely noticed her existence. Her mother was a raving socialite who couldn't understand why her daughter was more interested in Greenpeace and hanging out with her gay best friend than horseback riding and becoming a debutante. Sorry, Les, you know what I mean, he smiled sheepishly. She looked up, unfazed. What about football, class president? What about Derek? Ah, that's right, you don't know. I broke up with Derek over 3 weeks ago. It was strange for Leslie not to be up to the minute with his dating situation. But she had been in Guatemala building huts for about a month and left her cell phone at home. Americans were too attached to technology, she said. What? Why? Derek was so sweet. She scrunched up her face. She was reading his mind. He was just too gay. Say it. He was too gay. She shook her head like a frustrated schoolmarm. I have news for you, Justin. You're gay too. She often reminded him of this fact as if he might be in danger of forgetting it. But Derek was way too gay. Sometimes it felt like I was dating a girl. I'm gay because I actually like men. Derek is intelligent, sensitive, and caring. Why should that make him any less of a man? She rolled her eyes, knowing her words made little difference. So let me guess, you're with Randy now. How'd you know? He was impressed. Maybe she really was psychic. I saw you two at the gym last month, lifting weights together. You had that look on your face. What look? The look that says, you're cute, I'm going to make you my boyfriend. You get it whenever you find some dumb jock questioning his sexuality. Dumb? I'll have you know that Randy is on the wait list at Berkeley, and he is not questioning his sexuality. He came out at the beginning of the summer. You should be proud of me, actually. I'm sort of guiding him through the process. Guiding him? Leslie rolled her eyes again. Justin worried that she might pass out during a conversation one day due to excessive eye rolling. Yeah, I've been helping him. Whatever. Justin shook his head. It doesn't really matter now anyways, not when I'm moving to Foxhurst in less than a month. For a moment he had forgotten about the move. Thinking about it again instantly depressed him. Foxhurst? I've heard of it. One of my mother's friends grew up there. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice. She flashed a hopeful smile. Great. I've met some of your mother's friends, and unless I'm looking for a plastic surgeon, I really don't care. Hey, what are you doing? Am I boring you? She had pulled out her iPhone and was furiously typing away. For someone who thought of herself as one with nature, she always had the most up-to-date gadgets. Her parents had bought her a new BMW for her birthday, and she promptly had them traded in for a Prius. Justin told her that if she truly wanted to be environmental, she would have asked for a bus pass. Here, I googled Foxhurst. It doesn't sound that bad. Population 75,000. It's 20 miles west of Chicago. Oh, and look at this. The county even voted for Obama. Fantastic. Didn't North Carolina vote for Obama? Maybe I should move there. This was not the type of help he was looking for. Leslie sighed and then leaned across the table. I'm sorry, but listen. You're smart, you're attractive, and as you constantly like to remind me, you're one of the most popular guys at Presidio High. And yes, I know it's not San Francisco, but how different can Foxhurst really be?